Welcome, everybody, to the episode Big 20 of the Run Button Podcast. My name is Keith J. Carberry, and with me is my co-host, Kyle Churchill. What's up, Kyle?
Thank you, co-host, for introing the show. This is your regular big host, Kyle Churchill, of the Run Button Podcast. Hey.
It's really confusing, Kyle, and we talked about this. We're trying to start, like, a new thing and get, like, a more defined image and really solidify our brand. And we're like, well, what we need is some nicknames.
Wait, hang on a minute. Are we solidifying our brand?
We're solidifying our brand, right? And we had this conversation about nicknames, and I'm trying to tell you that your nickname can't be Big Host if I'm the host. It can't be Keith Carberry and his co-host Big Host. It doesn't work.
So two things.
What?
One, I need my nickname to be Big Host because it's an homage to Big Boss. And two, I am the host, so I can be the big host. See, maybe the problem is just like in Metal Gear, there was the boss, and then Snake beat the boss, and he became Big Boss because he was even better than the boss. Like, you're the host,
okay,
but I'm the big host.
Okay, so I do all the hosting duties, and but you are the co-host, but you're also the big host.
Well, no.
Big Host Churchill.
Here's the thing, though.
What?
The hosting duties of this podcast are only bringing up conversation topics gathered from the internet. And correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think you did that, so you don't have any host duties.
Well, I didn't need to do that because I have fucking E3 all in my head.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When our fans go back and divide our podcast and Let's Plays into eras, this will definitely be the host argument era, the Run Button Podcast Civil War era.
Mm-hmm. And when I come out on top, because you were fighting for states' rights,
I'm going to refuse to stop flying my horribly host racist flag all the time.
So Kyle, did you catch up on any E3? You said that you might do that.
I didn't get to do. Yeah.
So you didn't get to do any. So I guess I'm just gonna bring up stuff from E3 that I thought was interesting.
Yeah,
and some of this stuff we talked about because I was at your house recording yesterday.
Hang on, let me ask you this though. You said you don't have anything to do for like the rest of the night.
Okay.
Is it still
not
too
the
late
rest
for
of the
us
night.
to
I
just
am busy
stream the conferences right now and you watch them again and I watch them for the first time?
It is too late to do that.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. But next year, I'm committed.
Okay, next year we can do it.
We're going to live commentate over the E3 press conferences.
Okay.
At least the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And it'll be fresh
Nintendo,
and new because no
Microsoft,
one does that, and it's weird.
Sony, and Konami.
The big four.
Remember, like, it was 2 years ago that Konami was doing their own E3 press conference, and now it's like they don't even they're like when they see video games in the hallway, they like look the other way and pretend not to know them.
Hold on, I don't think they had their own press conference. I think that they had a video that they showed.
They had a video. They had a pre-recorded press conference,
right? Yeah,
but I think it was a stage show. If I remember correctly.
I just thought that everybody was kind of in a hotel room, cramped around the TV, watching Netflix.
Yeah, you might be right. I don't think it was actually on stage. I think I might be confusing things. I don't think I ever actually watched it because why would you watch a Konami press conference?
No,
That's
no one,
insane.
no one has and no one would. And I think when people go like, "How come Konami's acting so fucking weird?" I think the sentence that Kyle and I both said in unison explains it.
What was the sentence we said in unison?
Why would anyone watch a Konami press conference?
I didn't hear you actually say that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Was there anything that I brought up to you? Because I can't remember what I said to you and what I didn't say to you yesterday. Is there anything that I brought up that you were interested in talking about? Like, first off?
I think we probably said our piece about Shenmue 3 in the Shenmue video.
Yeah.
So there's probably not much more to say about that. Other than I could be wrong. Was this because I know Shenmue was originally supposed to be like a 25-part epic,
10-part epic,
and Shenmue was part 1, and then like Shenmue 2 compressed like 8 different parts or something.
I think Shenmue 2 was 2 through 5 or 2 through 7.
I guess my question is, did Shenmue 2 actually at least attempt to end the story, or was it like a Mega Man Legends style thing where like the story was literally just like left open, like it didn't get its conclusion?
I haven't played Shenmue 2. I will say that I am 100% sure that it just left it there, just hanging. 100% sure.
Yeah, in that case, regardless of what Shenmue 3 is, or if it even matters to anybody or whatever, like, I still think it's cool that the people that have been waiting X number of years for a Shenmue conclusion, or at least a continuation, are getting that. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Though knowing Yu Suzuki, this will also just leave it hanging in anticipation for Shenmue 4.
Yeah, sure. But, oh man, like, yeah, I guess the thing is, I don't really think Shenmue is as impressive or as notable now as people thought it would be, or some people want it to be, or whatever.
I feel like,
but I think you could still eke out a couple minutes of waxing poetic about Shenmue. Oh, it's this great world and this epic story and blah blah blah. And like Yu Suzuki basically just went, "We're gonna make Shenmue 3. And it's gonna have ability scrolls." Like, what the fuck?
It's so funny.
That was your big reveal?
I know, and that's like all the Kickstarter video is. It's that, and then someone asking if Shenmue knows how to jump. Shenmue, can you jump?
Okay. Yes?
Yes. It's great. It's a really fun
Shenmue,
video.
can you jump? Yes. Follow me, Shenmue.
All right. Okay.
He's
literally he's cardboard. It's like vocal cardboard.
Even as like, and I'm not exaggerating. Even as placeholder, and I can only assume and hope to God that it is placeholder voiceover. Mm-hmm. That was like insultingly bad voiceover to put in your announcement thing.
Yeah, they could get anybody to do a better job than that.
Because like I think they knew that and I mean, I don't know how many lapsed Shenmue fans there are. Like, I think Shenmue had a strong core of fans around when it was coming out. And I don't know how many of those people no longer give a shit, but there's definitely a small contingent of people that you just say Shenmue 3 and they already have their money in their hand ready to give it. But, like, everyone else in the world needs to be convinced. And, like, there was nothing convincing about that at all.
No, not even a little bit. It really seemed like, I think you said it in the Shenmue video, it really seemed like he didn't know that we didn't all just play Shenmue 2 yesterday.
Right, yeah. Like that like I think he is if I were to guess, he more regularly than you might think is like contacted by Shenmue fans and like told like, hey, we want a Shenmue 3, mm-hmm. such that like his perception of the video game public is it's like there are all these Shenmue 3 fans that are like beating down the door for Shenmue 3.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the amount pledged, and it hit its goal in the first day, and I don't think it's had more than another couple 100,000 since like the first few hours.
You think like
I think it had over 3 million.
Got on that train immediately.
Yeah, I think it had over $1 million more than the asking, which is 2 million. So it had over 3 million like within a couple hours, and it's still at 3.3 million.
Yeah, you know what? We checked it yesterday around the same time of day, and it was 3.2 million. Right now, it's 3.3 million.
Yeah.
Which 100,000 in a day is fine, but when you do 2 million in like 5 minutes, it's not that impressive anymore.
Yeah, so I guess maybe the people that want Shenmue 3 want it so bad, and no one else wants it even a little.
Yeah,
but
that is exactly the case, I think.
But again, this has 28 days to go. I'm sure that this will get 4 million. I'll say it'll probably get at least $5 million. Right? It's got a month still.
5 million?
It's got an entire February. Because we all know the Kickstarters have the bump on the first and the last day.
I guess it'll probably get there. I think the thing is that most Kickstarters have like a bigger build-up, but where was this announced?
It was announced at E3.
Like which like a press conference?
Yes. I don't know.
You don't know.
I just saw the video of the announcement.
I would say
maybe it was Sony. It was Sony because they're backing it.
Really, Sony?
Sony's backing it. Yeah.
I know Sega is to some extent. To the extent that Sega has the money to back anything right now,
right?
Besides Persona 5.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe the E3 thing, it was like it got so many eyeballs so quickly because it was E3 that it didn't have like that word of mouth ramp up that a Kickstarter usually has or something.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, I mean, and I'm also sure that there were people watching E3 that like weren't really sure what Kickstarter was, or at least had never been there, and went there because, like, oh, Shenmue, I'm vaguely into games, and I was a kid once.
The $5 reward tier for Shenmue 3 is Shenmue Lives. Yu Suzuki's thanks and praise.
$29 for a digital copy of the game, and includes the $5 reward.
That's not cheap. Oh, so I don't have to choose between a copy of the game
or
Yu Suzuki's thanks and praise. That's convenient.
Yeah.
But of course, my absolute favorite. Where is it here? Let me.
It's 10,000.
Yeah, I'm looking at like the image thing. I'm not looking at
okay.
But yeah, the highest level is $10,000, or I guess there's two different $10,000 levels, but my favorite is Ryo's jacket, the original jacket worn by Masaya Matsukaze for all Shenmue press events. Okay, so I think in the video I said it was Yu Suzuki. That's a little bit less cool. I think that's the guy who played Ryo, that he wore the jacket. I think that's less cool. I would want the jacket that Yu Suzuki wore.
I don't know. I mean,
be it a Nike windbreaker or what.
We don't know Masaya Matsukaze, but maybe he's a big deal.
I mean,
you don't know that he's not a big deal.
He has a Japanese name, so if he was a voice actor on the game, I'm assuming he was the Japanese voice actor. In which case,
he's got a long list of roles in TV animation and video games. Oh, dude was he was Shenmue, and he's going to be in the third one too. So he must have gotten just worse as a voice actor. He must have forgot how to do it.
Wait, was he in the?
It doesn't say that he's in the trailer, but it does have him credited as the voice of Shenmue in Shenmue 3.
Stop saying the voice of Shenmue.
I love it. It's so much fun.
I think in the Shenmue videos, it's like a fun running joke. I think if people that haven't watched those videos just hear you say that, they just think that you think the main character is named
No
Shenmue.
one thinks I'm that dumb. People think that I'm dumber than I am because...
people think you're that dumb. And in some ways, you are pretty dumb.
No, I don't think in any ways I'm very dumb at all. Here's the thing, Kyle, is that, like, I spend a lot of time joking and being a goofball, and people are just like, oh, Keith's just an idiot. I'm not like a weird clown, Kyle.
I think you are mistaking correlation with causation.
No, I think they're mistaking jokes.
I think you're going, I'm making all these goofs, and it's making people think I'm dumb, but really you're just making goofs, and also people think you're dumb. Because you are.
But if all I do is make goofs...
Okay.
Anyway, what else do you want to talk about?
I just see a headline on Giant Bomb that says Kingdom Hearts 3 is the 8th Kingdom Hearts game.
Are you fucking looking at titles of articles to remember what I talked to you about yesterday?
Well, no, I was just looking at stuff that happened in E3.
Do you want me to tell you what happened in E3?
What?
We could talk about Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, was there gameplay?
There was gameplay. There was actually like a really... I'm really conflicted on the trailer. This might have to be a thing where we're going to take breaks and you're going to watch trailers. Do you want to do something like that?
Yeah, if you're okay with editing that, then I'm good with that.
I'm okay with editing that, yeah.
I think I want to watch the Kingdom Hearts 3. Oh, it looks dope, Keith.
Yeah?
It looks hecka Kingdom Hearts, and it looks hecka dope.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Here's the 2 things that I noticed from that trailer. 3 things. I'm gonna list 3 things. Number 1, the environments look cool and also huge. Like when Sora jumped off that rock, and I was like, oh, if that's all playable space, that's huge and cool.
It probably isn't.
No. It might be. You don't know.
I don't know. I literally don't know, Keith.
You don't know.
Why don't you take me to task about everything I don't know about Kingdom Hearts 3? It'll take a while.
You don't fucking know that the environments are that goddamn big. You don't fucking know that you're not always going to be running up bosses in a cool way. That was cool. Remember when he ran up that boss?
Yeah.
That was cool.
He got in the train thing, the train made of neon, and that was the Rock Titan from Hercules.
Yeah. And also, at the end there, when there were those characters playing chess, their faces looked shitty. Really bad.
What? No, they didn't.
Yeah, especially the one with black hair who was talking about that light has more than meets the eye.
They just looked like the style of Kingdom Hearts.
No, that face looks bad.
Whatever. Their chessboard seemed ridiculous.
That's a silly chessboard.
Keith.
Yeah.
2 things.
What?
One.
Right.
I just today, after like 2 years, finally got my first Game Informer in the mail from GameStop. Or
wow.
From Game Informer, but through GameStop. They finally fixed their problem. I don't know what that was about.
Did you you didn't talk to them. They just did it.
Well, I did talk to them, but like when I renewed my subscription thing, and I was like, hey, can you like I had already double checked it before. I was like, can you read the address and the spelling of it that you have in your system for my house? Because I still am not getting the magazines. And he read it, and I'm like, yeah, that's exactly right. I don't but I finally got one.
Good.
And
I'm glad for you.
Second thing, number 2. It had Halo 5 on the cover. I read a little tiny bit about Halo 5. It sounds hecka dope. I'm 200% on board. I need to get an Xbox One immediately.
I'm totally on board with Halo 5, but before that, we were going to do the Battlefield thing. Do you have more to say about Kingdom Hearts, or was that it? That it looks dope and that chessboard is whack?
You couldn't possibly have anything else to say about Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't think.
I couldn't, or you couldn't?
I don't think anyone could.
Just that it looks good.
I mean, that's all they showed was some stuff, right?
Right,
so
but you
look
can
at the
talk
stuff
about...
and you go, that looks good.
You could talk about how that you like the other games and what you like about those, and if those are represented in the trailer.
We have so much stuff to talk about.
All right,
those 2 guys playing chess, those are new guys as far as I'm aware.
Okay, and this is a thing that I meant to say that I forgot that I wanted to say. There's been 8 Kingdom Hearts games, including Kingdom Hearts 3. You only like 2 of those, right?
Kingdom Hearts 1, and then there was the GBA game Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories.
Yeah.
And then they remade that into like a PS2 style game, so it's like all 3D, and it looks like a regular Kingdom Hearts game, which is really weird because it was 2D in the Game Boy. And then there was Kingdom Hearts 2, and those were kind of like a trilogy, sort of.
Okay.
And then there was just like a bunch of other nonsense, like
365 Days Over 2?
Oh, god damn it. What they did with that game, which was really smart, was in Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD collection that they put on PS3.
Yeah.
They just took all the cuts, they redid all the cutscenes from that game to look better and to have voiceover. Or I guess they did, whatever. Like, they basically just, instead of, that game was so long and so boring and so dumb, they just basically put, like, a story of it in the collection. Like, you know, like Kingdom Hearts 350 Things Over 2, the movie. Like,
is it not 365? Is it 357?
What it's 358 days over 2 because it's 1 week less than a full year, so that's 358 days.
Okay, 358 days over 2. Great title. Not a single problem with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that title for sure.
I mean, I love it. It's bad, but I do really like the title because it's silly and dumb and weird.
I hate it.
I think it's weird and good because it's weird. Because the game is bad, it makes me not appreciate the title.
The game's not terrible. It's just it's
boring
one of those portable games where it's like it's just kind of like the gameplay of Kingdom Hearts, and they're like, here's a 75-hour Kingdom Hearts game where almost nothing happens. Just play a bunch of Kingdom Hearts in all the environments you've already seen before, but they're shittier because it's a DS. And it's like, oh, okay,
yeah, right.
I guess.
So here's what I want to say before we watch the Battlefront trailer. I'm like conflicted about it. The thing that I do really like is that it shows you the Battle of Hoth, and it just cuts.
Finally, the Battle of Hoth in a video game. We've waited this long.
Don't pretend like you don't know what Battlefront is. You know what Battlefront is. It would be absurd if Hoth wasn't in it.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So it shows Hoth. It looks really good visually, and the cool thing about the trailer is that it's constantly cutting between like different players, all kind of doing different things and being able to do different objectives on this big, huge map, and that looks really cool. But like, there's something about it that I'm not into, and maybe we can get to the bottom of that together.
Let's see that. I do, yeah. Of course, the Giant Bomb headline for this video is, "Hey, there's a Hoth level in Star Wars Battlefront."
Right.
All right, let's watch now. Keith, that looked pretty dope. What's your problem with it?
Two things. So I really, really don't like the hero stuff from Battlefront 2.
Yeah, no, I don't.
And having that in 3 doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to work again. But the thing that I specifically don't like about it, first, is that in 2 it wasn't fun to do. But primarily it's that, like,
I think it was a little bit fun, but yeah, I think I agree with what you're about to say.
It's that the cool thing about Battlefront was always like, here's what Star Wars universe is like when those main characters aren't around.
Yeah.
When it's not a world filled with heroes, which it isn't. Like, it's just because the reason that the Star Wars universe looks like it's filled with heroes is because that's where the camera is always pointed.
Yeah.
And so it's cool to have a game where that isn't a part of it.
Yeah, it's cool to have a game where it's not about lightsabers.
Right. Or even because you could be Han Solo. Han Solo is just as fucking invincible as Darth Vader in Battlefront 2.
Right. Wait, was he in there?
He was one of the heroes, yeah. You could be Han Solo, you could be Chewbacca.
Okay, yeah.
But
is your problem with the hero stuff more specifically that Luke Skywalker did a Force push, but as Yoda says, a Jedi uses the Force only for knowledge of events and never for attack?
Now, Kyle, you'll remember that even though Yoda said that, Luke isn't the most disciplined of Jedi, and even he'll even Force choke a Gamorrean if he's up to it.
I knew you were gonna bring that up.
And here's the thing: that Hoth is from Return of the Jedi. Is from Empire Strikes Back, but he's got his Return of the Jedi haircut, which means he's in dark side Luke mode.
You're way into the whole idea that like Luke got really dark in Return of the Jedi and almost went over to the dark side, and I'm not saying that that's not what they were going for, but I am saying that it doesn't show that well, and I wish that Return of the Jedi was about that way more than it is.
I think that it is about that quite a bit. I think that it's subtle, and a lot of it is like looks and tonality and line readings, and also clothes and directing. But I think that I think that they really want you to think that Luke could say, yes, I will kill the Emperor, and join you.
I'm just not sure that I ever thought that. But maybe
I'm just not sure that you ever watched that movie right. Anyway, the primary thing was that at the beginning, the first half of that trailer is mostly focused on shooting, and it starts off in first person. And Battlefront's always been about being able to switch perspectives. I think that I played most of Battlefront in third person.
Wait, was there first person in Battlefront 1 and 2?
Almost definitely, right?
I don't think so.
No? I'm almost positive that you could do that.
I don't know now.
I was
so sure before, and now I am not.
Yeah, now I'm not so sure. Anyway, either way, like, man, it looked really dicey. And by dicey, I don't mean troublesome. I mean made by dice.
Okay, yeah.
Like, it didn't, like, the first bit of that didn't feel like, it had Star Wars visuals, but it looked like another shooter.
Whatever.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Like, in my head, a lot of the things that makes Battlefront fun had to do with, like...
Well,
the way shooters, and it's not because there's something wrong with making it like, oh, your gun shakes when you're running, and it's first person, and everyone's on a bullet sponge. But those are my experiences with Battlefront as it is, and so changing that is like, who knows? Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. It looked my first impression was like, this doesn't look like it feels like Battlefront. Later on in the trailer, it doesn't have that problem as much, but for the first little bit, I was kind of not interested.
I mean, Battlefront was always just Battlefield, but with Star Wars. And now the Battlefield guys are making a Star Wars game that looks and feels exactly like a Battlefield game. So I really don't feel like they're missing the mark by making it like a Battlefield game.
No, it's really just like...
I was pretty much on board for the whole thing, and then Darth Vader showed up at the very end, and I went, yeah, right, okay.
Right, yeah. And it was a cool moment. It would be a cool moment if that's what I wanted to be in this game. Like, he's like, all of a sudden, Darth Vader shows up in the dude, but you don't see him, you just see the result of him force choking someone. That's cool.
It is cool, but it's a very scripted moment that would never actually play out in the game, really, in that way. You would never turn around to find Darth Vader ominously standing above you. You would just be looking somewhere, and then all of a sudden you're dead, and Darth Vader runs past you, and it says respawning in 15 seconds.
Yeah, and that's what makes playing as the heroes not fun, or playing with heroes not fun, is that you're just an invincible monster killing everyone in your path.
Right.
And like, as a player who isn't playing a hero, it's always annoying just to have well, somewhere on this map is just a death wall.
Yeah. I think it's lame. I don't know why anyone liked it or wanted it to come back in a future game.
Yeah. The other thing that I'm sure that this has that Battlefront 2 had was space battles, which I didn't like. I'm sure this does not have space battles?
It does not. No.
Oh, okay. I mean, it didn't show any. Did it say that somewhere?
They have confirmed that there are no space battles in this game.
There was nothing wrong inherently with having those space battles. I just thought that the arenas that they were happening in were not interesting.
I thought they were incredibly interesting, but I was not always having the most fun when it was happening. Also, it felt like a completely different game. Like, it feels like it should be a spin-off, like Star Wars Battlefront Space.
Well, because I always have fun in the ships. Like, Bespin Cloud City from the first Battlefront, I fucking love it. I love it to death. And that was basically a dogfight arena.
That's true. Since then, I think I have fallen off of loving that map, because I realized that, like, everyone flying around in the ship is basically wasting time and making their team lose, and the actual fight in that map is, like, on the corridor between the two bases.
Well, if you can get into something that can harm infantry in a good way, like, you can be effective in the ships. It's very difficult. It's not, again, it's like definitely your time is way better spent on that bridge section, just shooting the shit out of people.
Yeah.
In that one core, that that bottleneck corridor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm not gonna not get it. I'm definitely super excited for it. I'm a wicked Star Wars nerd. No matter how dumb Star Wars is, I'll always find a thing about it to really enjoy.
I mean, as cool as I think it is, I'm definitely not going to get it, because, as we both know, there were no TIE fighters at the Battle of Hoth, and that's some fucking bullshit.
And here's the thing, Kyle. TIE fighters can barely even withstand atmospheric pressures. They wouldn't even be able to get off the ground.
Yeah. I mean, don't even get me started.
Now, an X-Wing, that's a different story. An X-Wing is limited in the atmosphere, but it's still going to be able to operate. A TIE fighter in the atmosphere is just a fucking time bomb. It's not going to... They're not built for that. And this game is garbage because of it. Also, Vader was never on Hoth.
Your bomber becomes a time bomber.
Yep. Vader was never on Hoth, and Luke didn't have his green lightsaber yet. So
Vader
fucking think about it. Think about it for 1 second, Dice.
Vader was on Hoth, though. At the end of the Battle of Hoth, he shows up in the Rebel base and stuff.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he was there. But he wasn't, like, in a battle.
Well, no, he was never... He was never that.
He was never... Vader's not a ground troop, Kyle.
I think it was VG Cats. There was like a VG Cats comic about that. It was like, hey, why is Darth Vader just running around fighting guys with us? Doesn't he have like more important stuff to be doing? And you just see Darth Vader in the background going like, wee! Whee!
Was there anything else that caught your fancy in terms of talking about stuff?
Like from E3?
Yeah.
I barely even know what happened at E3. That Rare thing you mentioned?
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
That sounds so cool.
You're talking specifically about the Rare Replay.
Yes.
Which is it's a $30 bundle of 30 Rare games.
Yes.
Super excited about it. The
So
list of
excited.
games is super good. It unfortunately doesn't have, obviously it doesn't have GoldenEye or Donkey Kong Country or Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah.
I would love it to have Diddy Kong Racing with all of my heart. I wish it was on there.
I would love if they could have Diddy Kong Racing minus... Because Diddy Kong is the only Nintendo character in that game. So if they could make it like...
If they could somehow re-release it without
If
Diddy
they could
Kong.
make it Ponky Kong and rename it to Ponky Kong Racing... Do you remember Ponky Kong?
I kind of remember Funky Kong, yeah.
I don't remember. I'm not sure if it was you, but it might have been you. It was like we were in the mall, and there was a mall kiosk selling 101 games in a controller plug-and-play thing, and one of the games was called Ponky Kong. And
yeah, that was me.
that just really tickled me for a long time.
A long, long time.
I held on to
Kong.
Ponky Kong for many years.
Here's something. You're a big Mirror's Edge fan.
I forgot about that.
I don't know if you remember last year they announced Mirror's Edge, and one of the things they said was like improving gun combat.
Okay.
And that was the thing that people were not super thrilled about. Remember?
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, that's not even the part of. They were like, they wanted to focus on it.
You're
and
not
this
fucking
year,
getting it, man.
And this year they showed some like cutscene stuff, and then they were like, also we're taking out guns. Like
Nice.
the enemies still have guns,
Nice.
but it's like not
good.
even a thing anymore.
That's what it should have been.
Yeah.
From the start, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I mean, I like the idea of being able to decide not to kill anybody with guns. Like having the guns there and being able to go.
My memory of this is I just played the game the way they designed it, which was I didn't use a gun that often, but I definitely used it when I felt I had to. And
there's definitely times where it's like very, very difficult to get out of.
Almost impossible. Like a couple years ago, I watched Phil live stream like all of Mirror's Edge, and he was at the end of the game, and he was fucking furious because he was insisting on never using guns, and he was just having such a hard time, and he was getting so mad, and I was getting mad at him. I'm like, Phil, the fucking game was designed to use guns. Use the fucking guns to kill the enemies, and he wouldn't do it, and it was like, yeah, of course you're having a terrible time. This is how the game was designed. I'm sorry you don't agree with it.
Well, to be fair, he did set out to do a no-gun run from the start.
Yeah.
He didn't just decide it, like, just then.
Well, I mean, he decided it at every point at which he could pick up a gun throughout the game.
Right. What else? How much do you know about No Man's Sky? Are you pumped for that?
I am not, because I am not convinced that it will actually be a game that is fun or interesting.
It looks... So here's the thing. Everything they showed has been fun and interesting. I just have trouble believing that it will continue to be that. Because the things that they're saying are very big, and the things they're showing are very big, but every time they show a new thing, I'm like, no, that still looks really great. And they showed some more stuff, and it still looks really great. They showed some ship combat. He stumbled upon... It was Sean Murray doing a live demo from Hello Games. He was doing a live demo. He got up, he went to he just picked a random planet, and the planet was cool. He accidentally fell into a river, and there was fish in the river, and they were all cool. It looks good still.
Yeah, okay, but it's just why am I playing it? What makes me
It's like a Minecraft.
What makes me be playing No Man's Sky and think I don't want to stop playing No Man's Sky because
I think
blank.
that the hooks are exploration and seeing how if we want to just say it's a game and let's not pretend that it's not a game, see how the different fucking randomized sliders make all the weird different things look different and cool.
But I feel like that'll get boring really fast.
And then there's also progression. I read a thing that was yeah, you can be a trader or a pirate or a soldier. Like, there's a bunch of stuff. There's, like, space battles and there's people. Like, there's stuff in the game.
Okay.
It's just, like, it's just, like, infuriatingly slow trickle of information coming from Hello
I guess
Games regarding
the thing is that the game just sounds crazily big and ambitious, and it's like a 3-person team, and I just don't believe that a 3-person team can do.
Do you want to watch the video?
What?
Do you want to watch the video?
All right, fine.
Well, it's all math. They did math to make it.
I understand that they're not handcrafting these planets, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like there are a million indie games like that where it's like, oh, check it out. They made this thing where it randomly generates these alien worlds, and they look super cool. Okay, what do you do in the game? You can fly from one world to another world, and the new world will be different from the first.
All right, let's watch the thing.
Keith?
Yep.
You there?
Yep, I'm here. What's up?
Hey. So I watched the thing.
What'd you think?
It definitely looked cool. Definitely looked interesting. It looked a little bit more like a game and less like a tech demo, so that was cool.
Yeah, I just think that for whatever reason, their like PR release schedule has all their tech stuff up front, and it's not that it isn't a game, but they
it's
just
all that they had up front.
I mean, I mean, that's probably true. It's all that they had up front, but that just is because they prioritize that stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
Hold on, there's something on the floor, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I guess my problem is, the thing is, I love exploration in games, but I need a little bit of incentive.
I think that the thing, there's a line in the thing where he said that's the center of the galaxy, that's what we're all trying to get to. I think that there's something that is incentivizing you to get to that part of the galaxy, and doing that involves collecting resources and discovering things and getting money from that, buying upgrades to your ship, buying new weapons, buying bigger hyperdrives.
Okay, that's
get
cool.
there.
Yeah, like, I guess the thing is that everyone keeps talking about this idea that there's like billions of planets in the game or whatever. And, you know, like, they're pulling out, and it's like, there's like a ludicrous number of suns in this universe.
Yeah.
And like
just thousands and thousands.
And some people in the audience are like starting to cheer, like, woo, woo, so many things. But it's like, everyone knows that quantity doesn't make a game good. I don't understand why people are so enamored by this idea that they let a computer randomize billions of things. Like, that's not...
I just think that the thing that's exciting is that, like, every time they show something, there's a bunch of different new stuff. And, well, obviously there's going to be planets that have, like, oh, this looks kind of like the thing that I saw in that other place.
Yeah, like,
I think the thing that's impressive is that even though there's repetition, there's enough variables that thousands and thousands of planets means that there's enough interesting stuff that it's not boring.
Yeah.
I think that the thing that this game is selling is the idea that even though there's going to be repetition, it's still not it's not going to start to look the same.
Mm-hmm. I hope it's like that there's not so many different variables that when you randomize each one, it's almost like every planet ends up kind of being the same in a weird way. Or, you know what I mean? Or... Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just hope that... Because I feel like, you know, no team of people could ever craft a game that large.
Right,
but also
without just a computer doing all of the work.
Yeah, a lot of times when you leave things up to computer generation, it doesn't always make the most compelling game. So I'm just trying to keep my expectations in check with No Man's Sky.
And then here's the other thing. This is something that they talked about at a different... tech thing, at a different showing, is that because there's people exploring stuff, I think there's a way to know which planets are the ones that are cool. Right? Like even though you're not necessarily playing with a bunch of people, like they've said, like, you'll run into somebody. I think he said it's kind of like Journey. You can kind of interact, but not really. There's no voice system.
I thought it was all offline.
I
thought the idea was that I think the whole uploading discoveries thing isn't the idea that it's like everyone's game is playing off of the same like server or whatever, where like if I discover a planet and then I upload then anyone can go to that same place and find that exact same planet, but like we're not in the game together.
That's right, but also I think that they have said that you are in the game with people.
Okay.
And like that. What was I gonna say? In the game, run into somebody. Oh yeah. Shit. What the fuck? I have no idea. No idea what I was gonna say.
Okay.
All right. Was what else? What were we talking about?
I'm looking at a thumbnail here for the Ratchet and Clank pseudo reboot.
You like Ratchet and Clank, right?
Ratchet and Clank is totally super fun, Keith.
I played a bunch of like the second Ratchet and Clank on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah. PlayStation 2.
The PlayStation 2 with my friend Ian when that was a newish game.
Just during our break, I finally finished the first one and then moved on to the second one.
Okay. And how was it? How'd you find it?
It was good. I had some problems with the first game. Really, my main problem with the HD re-release of Ratchet and the Vita version is that they're the exact same game, but there's no cross-save. So, like, I would have finished Ratchet 1 like a fucking year ago if I could have just transferred my save from my PS3 to my Vita. So what I had to do instead was, like, buy the Vita version, and now I'm playing 2 on my Vita, and I can never put it on a console. Hang on a second. Hey.
Is that recording?
Yeah.
Do you think you can come up at 5 so you can help me have Lucas do his card?
Okay.
Because I'm going to have to feed her. I'm going to have to wake her up to feed her.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. I guess I'm going to be taking a break in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so what were you saying about Ratchet and Clank?
Oh, it's just that, like, I have, like, super, super good memories of the multiplayer of Ratchet and Clank.
The multiplayer?
Was there not multiplayer?
I don't think so.
Then what did I play? What am I thinking of?
There might be multiplayer in, like, one of them. I've not encountered that one, though. I've also played a lot of Tools of Destruction, which was the first one that they put out on PS3. Basically, the thing with Ratchet and Clank is that it seems to me like it's been really consistently good for the whole time. They've just made a million of them, and I think people just got tired of it, regardless of how much fun it was. Mm-hmm. And maybe, like, it seems like they're bringing back... this new one's just called Ratchet and Clank, but it seemed from the trailer like it's not a reboot of the story, it's a continuation. So maybe just calling it Ratchet and Clank is enough to reset everyone's interest or something? I don't know.
Yeah, we're talking about Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal for the PS2.
Okay, that's the third one.
The third one, okay. I remember having just a fucking blast in that. But that's, like, basically my only experience is, like, kind of watching some of the single player and then loving the multiplayer and really not remembering why or what it was about because I was 12.
It's just kind of like a action platformer that sort of makes its thing about having like a wide array of different and often bizarre weapons.
Okay.
And it's just fun. It's just fun. But yeah, like I'm overwhelmed almost by the number of Ratchet and Clank games that exist because like it took me, I mean, I wasn't really playing it that regularly, but it took me like 2 years to get through the first one. Like I kept being surprised by like how much more of the game there was.
Yeah.
And then it seems like the second one is no shorter. And it's like, man, they just every year they kept putting out like these 20-hour Ratchet and Clank games. Like why make more? I will never finish the ones that exist.
I think the idea is you can skip some of them.
But why would I? Like, I don't think none of them seem any better or worse than any of the other ones. So, like, why would I skip to the new one that costs $60 if I can get the first three for like $5 to $10 each?
That's a good point. I don't know. They don't look as good. They're probably they were probably received as well at the time, but have aged poorly. Or have aged at all.
Bleh. I
talk about The Last Guardian?
I did not find much difference between Tools of Destruction, which was like number 5 or something in the first one. So I don't know.
Okay. You want to talk about The Last Guardian?
Ooh, The Last Guardian, huh?
Yeah, they're really, really insisting that it's real.
Nah.
I don't know. I'm inclined to believe
Wait, hang
them.
on a second.
Yeah.
They're really making a Final Fantasy VII remake for real?
They are for real.
What?
Yeah, they're remaking
Hang on, I
it.
have to watch this.
I was trying to build up to that.
Why was this not communicated more clearly to me?
I was trying to build up to it.
But why did no one tell me?
No one cares about you.
How does what?
Yeah.
I was just playing Final Fantasy VII over the break. Over
Why?
my break.
Don't you like 8 better now or whatever?
No.
Why not?
Well, I like this. I think 10 is very, very good. I think 10 is very great, in fact. All right, now shut up. I'm watching this thing. Oh, my God.
All right, I'm not even going to watch it.
Oh, my fucking God, Keith.
Ugh.
Shut the fuck up.
No, ugh. Gives a shit. Final Fantasy VII. Ugh.
Shut up. Oh, my God, Keith.
What's up?
They're doing it. They're doing it, Keith.
They're remaking a game.
Yeah, man.
Here's the thing. I've never played Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
I don't intend to.
Okay.
I heard for a long time how great Final Fantasy VII was from you and from plenty of other people.
Yep.
And recently, the thing that I've heard is that maybe it's not so great and people got to calm down.
Well, I
think that I maybe have heard that from you recently.
I just played it a little bit over the break, and I think someone asked me about Final Fantasy VII on, like, Ask FM, and I was like, one of the problems is that the translation's not that great, and it kind of makes the story more confusing than it already is. And someone was like, hey, someone did a fan translation that you can download for the PC version, so I went and checked that out, and I was kind of playing that a little bit, and I even stumbled upon like a review for Final Fantasy VII that came out at the time, and I remembered like, oh yeah, Final Fantasy VII is like really good. Like it's like really good, Keith. I mean, I don't know if it holds up at all, but at the time it was really, really good, and I still really, really like it.
Okay.
Man, it was really good though. Here's the thing, though, is that, like, all my nostalgia for that game is in the game that it was.
Right.
So
if you're playing a game that doesn't hold up but looks great, it might do some harm?
No, what I'm saying is, like, if they just made the same game but it looked really good, I think that would be cool. But, like, they made Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core that was kind of like a prequel, and it was on the PSP, but like the combat, the whole gameplay of it was like super garbage, and it like kind of ruined the whole thing. And like the whole look, like the art direction of the whole game, I felt like really did not look like the original and was stupid. And so like if they remake this game and then it's like, oh, all the music's redone and I don't like it as much, and the combat system is completely different and it's like some stupid garbage that I don't like, then then there's going to be like a thing. It's going to be like a poop. So I hope it's not a poop, is what I'm saying.
I hope it's not too. I'm interested in hearing everybody's thoughts about how great or not great or overrated or underrated Final Fantasy VII is. I'm super excited.
It was weird because I just had recently like committed to myself that I would replay Final Fantasy VII with this new translation, but apparently I'm not going to because they're remaking it. So okay. I mean, I'm not usually one to...
Oh, wait, so how much time did you spend with Final Fantasy VII this time?
This time, I think I only got around to, like, a few hours.
Okay, so when you say, turns out Final Fantasy VII is really good, you only played it for a couple, like...
Right, but...
15th of the length of the game.
But, it, like... all my memories of it started coming back, and I started remembering the whole thing. Because here's the thing, I'm not one to replay games that much.
No, you just re-listen to old podcasts. That's your...
if a game is really long, like I usually will not go back to it. But I've played through Final Fantasy VII, which is like a 60-hour RPG, like 4 times or something. So
Yeah, the older games that I replay are the KOTOR games. I've replayed the Mass Effect games a couple times. And every once in a while, I'll replay a Halo game. And that's basically it.
I think the problem for me with my opinion of Final Fantasy VII sort of waning over the years was that I listened to a lot of Giant Bomb, and Giant Bomb are a bunch of Final Fantasy VII haters. And I think they got to me. And I think I went back to Final Fantasy VII and went, wait, no, this is a really good game, though. It's a good game.
Well, we'll see. When you play it, I'm interested in hearing what you have to say.
Yeah, all right. It's cool. It's fine.
It's fine. It's cool and it's fine.
Where'd Square Enix get all that money?
They have a lot of money.
No, they don't.
They don't. They don't.
That's their whole thing. Where'd you go? Hey, you're gone. Hey. All right. Okay. Well, then maybe I'll just stop my recording and go take that break I was talking about.
I had a couple things that I wanted to bring up, and I can't remember what those things were.
About E3, or like...
Yeah, about E3. I mean, we can talk about games that we've been playing.
Yeah, like every time, I always have like a list of things I want to talk about, of games, of like stuff I've been playing, and then it always seems like it goes so long until we do a podcast that then I just don't care to talk about them anymore. Especially because I didn't go to work for like a month, so I played a bunch of games.
Yeah. You did the opposite of what new dads say, which is that I got this baby, can't play games. You're like, I got this baby, it's a game machine.
The thing is though, I'm saying I played a lot of games compared to the amount of games I was playing before, which is the amount allowable in my life taking care of a 5-year-old.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
that's me playing a lot of games in my time off was still nothing compared to the monumental amount of games I was able to play before I was in a relationship or had any kids.
Right. I've been playing the shit. Kyle, I've been playing the shit out of The Witcher 3.
Yeah. I also played a teensy bit of Witcher 3.
I've played maybe like 50 hours of The Witcher 3.
Holy shit.
I love that game to absolute pieces.
It's a really good game.
It's a really good game. I'll say here. Okay, so here's some stuff about The Witcher 3 from my perspective.
Go ahead.
First of all, it does a really, really great job of making a lot of the side quests seem super important.
Yeah.
And tying them into the main narrative. A lot of the most interesting side stuff are characters that weave in and out of the main story already, and that stuff is all super cool.
Mm-hmm.
It got some shit for being like misogynistic when it first came out.
Yeah, I remember that vaguely.
I will say that I found it to be significantly less problematic than The Witcher 2, which I also really enjoyed, and that I don't know, like it doesn't really have anything in excess of what AAA games just are. Not to say that that's an excuse.
Wait, I want to say for the record, when you said when it first came out, for some reason, I thought you meant when The Witcher 1 came out.
Oh, okay. Well, it's definitely improved.
Okay.
Yeah, like, there's... That's not to say that that's an excuse, like the fact that this is on par with the rest of AAA games.
Yeah.
Like, that's not an excuse as much as it is like, I wonder why this game is being targeted, especially because the things that were being targeted weren't the one really horrifying thing that The Witcher 3 does have, which is the house of a murderer that has been decorated with the corpses of a bunch of young women. Like, that was particularly horrifying.
Okay.
But other than that...
that sounds like a good time. Can't wait to get to that house.
Okay. Well, edit this. Note to self: edit this out, Kyle. That's not. No, it's a bad thing.
What?
It's a bad time.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, we don't like it. We don't like
Keith,
a house filled with corpses of women.
I just don't get this PC thing.
Okay.
I just don't get it.
It stands for personal computer, and it's just has. I feel like I like the upgradability of it versus a console.
Hashtag not all Kyles.
Just this one Kyle.
I'm still not I think I even tried to look it up one time. Still not 100% sure about what that's referencing, or at least what it means exactly. But
I can tell you.
go ahead.
You're talking about not all men. You're talking, what does that mean?
Or is not? Yeah, sure. I mean, there's so many variations at this point.
It's all the original one, as far as I know, is not all men, and that's basically when a woman goes, here's the problem with
men, and then they say not all men.
And then people go like, there's some of us that aren't like that,
Yeah.
and like, that's not the point. Obviously, I'm not talking about, obviously not every man sexually harasses people, but like, you're missing the point, which is that it's a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what that means.
Okay, yeah, I remember that now. But then there was yes, all women.
And that means just because not all men
are like that.
Do these things, all women deal with the the problems. That's
right. It's all coming back to me now.
Okay. Witcher 3, great. Here's a thing. Did you play The Witcher 2?
I did, yeah.
Did you notice did you notice how much more fuckable they made Geralt?
I did notice how eminently fuckable he was.
He's way more fuckable, and this is a hot tip. They do have a free haircut pack that you can download.
Really?
That also has beard styling.
What?
And Geralt with short hair. There's a short haircut for Geralt.
What?
Looks super good. Almost too good for how video games are.
Keith,
Yeah.
Keith.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you and Geralt get a room? All right.
Listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was like I was kind of disappointed by that in a way because in The Witcher 2 he was just kind of weird looking, and it was kind of lame to me that it's like, oh, we can't have a weird looking protagonist. How's this gonna sell 1 million copies if he doesn't look like a what the fuck is
a super
silver
fuckable,
what is it?
A silver fox?
A silver fox.
He's actually a white wolf, Kyle.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, because the first Witcher, he kind of has like a. Have you seen Iggy Pop recently?
No.
Iggy Pop is a 60-something-year-old man
Mm-hmm.
who's kind of super muscular, but the way that muscles look on old men is different than the way they look on younger men.
Mm-hmm.
And so he looks kind of weird and bloated, even though he's obviously clearly very muscular. And the first Witcher game, Geralt looked kind of like that. And in the second game, he just got regular ripped, and they kept his face looking old and haggard. And this game, he just looks like a 33-year-old ripped rugby player with silver hair.
Well, I guess the thing is, the white hair thing is because he's a Witcher, not because he is like old and gray, right? So technically,
I actually don't know what the white hair thing is, because there's other Witchers and they don't have white hair.
Oh, okay. I think he just might be like, like in fantasy, people just have white hair sometimes. Maybe he's like that.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I think that he is. I think that there's something about Geralt that, for whatever reason, he has white hair. I know that in Witcher 3, he's chasing Ciri, and she has white hair. She's not a Witcher. She just has elder blood. I don't know what her ashen. They keep calling it ashen hair. I don't know what that has to do with. I don't know what.
I guess
that has to do with.
He and Ciri probably have the same thing.
I don't think so, because her having elder blood is very important.
Oh,
and
okay.
if he also had elder blood, it would change the story.
Maybe it's just a dye job. Maybe he's just expressing his personal taste. Maybe he's taking the inside Geralt and putting it as the outside Geralt.
I'll say this: if you want to express yourself in that game, the way that you do it is by wearing the fucking doofiest looking armor I've ever seen in a video game. It all looks so goofy.
It is, yeah. Everything's like weird stripes and stuff.
There's one
the
there
armor
that
he
Gambesons
starts with looks really cool.
Yeah.
And then like the first time you find armor out in the world, you're like, all right, sweet armor upgrade, and you put it on. You're like, wait a minute, what happened?
As a commitment to keeping Geralt from looking like a doof, I've just been going without armor and just wearing his like just the shirt that he has.
Really?
It makes the game harder. I'm already playing on hard. It makes the game harder.
Like
but
you're
it's
not
like a
putting
fun
on
challenge.
you're not putting on armor in combat.
Right.
You're a nutcase.
It's fun. It makes it really fun. I have my stove is on. I'm gonna shut that off real quick. Okay, I'm back.
Oh, hey. I would say my one slight complaint, and I've maybe played this game for like 5 hours or something, so I'm like, I'm very early relative to the length of the game, really. But I would say my one complaint is that like the combat feels really hard, and specifically the combat doesn't feel great, I don't think.
So I actually had a similar thing with both this game and The Witcher 2, but like there was just a point where it all clicked, and now I'm super, super enjoying it. I think that and here's what happened with me. Are you doing a lot of dodge rolling?
No.
How about parrying with B?
A little bit, maybe.
I would do this. There's a really, really cool.
I think I've been riposting. I don't know if I have parry. What's the difference? I don't know.
I guess a parry. I'm talking about when you're fighting monsters, not other sword people.
Okay.
You want to be doing like a double. Like there's the dodge roll and then there's the dodge sidestep.
Right.
Like be dodging, do like sidestep to the side and then immediately sidestep in back of them, and then that sort of swift L-shaped motion really opens up how easily you are able to not get attacked by people.
Gotcha.
Yeah, okay. That was here's short hair Geralt.
Here it comes.
There's short hair Geralt.
Wow, I got hard a little bit just now.
Right?
No. But yeah, sure. I mean, he looks like a fantasy GQ model or something.
Right. He was an old man. He's 150.
Wow.
He's a grandpa's grandpa.
Yeah. So The Witcher is really cool. I like the world. I was in a GameStop or something, and they were playing a trailer for The Witcher 3, and it ends with a voiceover of Geralt saying, "This world doesn't need a hero; it needs a professional." Like, yeah, I love The Witcher.
That's a really good line. My Geralt is kind of just a hero.
Yeah, I try. You can still kind of make him a hero. I try not to do that. I like it does. It's not as much of a novelty anymore, but it does its whole shades of gray thing and everything that happens and stuff. I like playing stuff by ear. Sometimes I'm nice to people. Like I think there was like a side quest where a guy, was it the Noon Wraith thing at the very beginning when the guy has you clear the Noon Wraith out of the well, and then to pay you, he's going to give you his daughter's dowry, and then you can choose to let him keep it, and I let him keep it. But then there were some other times where I was mean to people. Mm-hmm. I like to mix it up.
I really like the fact. Here's something that's really interesting about the Witcher universe to me is like Witchers have this they have this reputation as being Witcher won't do anything if you're not going to pay him.
Well, it's
like
against the Witcher code.
Right.
The whole point is it's supposed to be like never, never give your skills away for free because you're supposed to be a businessman.
Right. And I like the fact that Witchers are kind of, people like shit on Witchers for like, of course you're not going to help. You're a fucking Witcher, and Witchers don't do shit for free. But then like that means there's this entire universe of people who are looking down on him for not just doing his job for free all the time.
Yeah.
Like it's totally reasonable that like you're asking him to put his life on the line. Like it's his job, fucking pay him. But also, I like being able to represent that in the game, but I also like being able to go like, nah, you were gonna die if I didn't help out. Of course I'm gonna help out. I was right here, and I'm a fucking badass.
Yeah, I mean, like there are some lines where he's not always like a jerk about it, but he's like, hey, this is, I'm gonna help you, but this is my job. Yeah, I gotta eat.
Yeah,
it's like, it's like
there's actually only one time where the dialogue that they had for Geralt was like meaner than I wanted it to be. Mm-hmm. Like I helped this dude and he didn't have quite enough, and then like either Geralt could kill him or be like, I'll be back for it later. And then Geralt saying, I'll be back for later was like, I'm fucking coming back and I'm not going to forget. And I'm just like, oh, it's fine. It was like $50. He gave me $300. It's fine. Don't be so mean.
Yeah.
Sorry,
go ahead.
He came back and the guy gave you double the pavement and Geralt was still kind of sour about it. And I was like, what is going on? Like, it feels like something that was written for a different Witcher game.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not like a BioWare game where you can just be like a full-on hero, or it's even the default. Like, the default is definitely like Geralt is like a sourpuss.
Yeah, it's not as much good and evil as it is like compassionate and apathetic.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, Geralt can have a lot of compassion, especially because he spends a lot of that game just kind of being a goofy dad. Like, looking for his fucking, where's my Ciri?
Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't gotten to that.
Oh, really? I thought that was, like, the opening bit.
No, I'm, like, the opening bit is you're
still looking for Yennefer.
You're looking for Yennefer, and then I just found Yennefer, and I'm at, like, the castle place that you ride with her, and I think I'm about to talk to the...
Emrys?
Yeah, whoever.
Emperor Emrys?
I'm about to talk to the Emperor.
The Emperor of Nilfgaard, the Black Ones.
Yes, exactly that.
Yeah, so you're about 3 seconds from that not having been a spoiler.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah, I've been streaming some of that to my Vita. The thing was, I actually over my break I got a Vita Slim.
Ooh,
that was like
dang.
That was Nicole's anniversary present for me because the Vita that I had, like, the battery was just fucking up. Or actually, it seemed like the battery was fine, but actually, like, the battery sensor in the device was wrong. So, like, it would have a full battery, and then I'd just be playing, and it'll be like, oh, no battery, and then shut off, and then I have to turn it back on. And then it seemed like a bad scene.
What's going on with your old Vita? What's happening with that?
What's happening with that? Nothing's happening with that right now. It's just hanging out. Why are you talking like that? You're making a lot of sounds right now.
No. No. No.
You can borrow my old Vita.
I'll borrow. Yeah, I'll borrow your old Vita.
The thing about the new Vita is that the original had an OLED screen and the new one has an LCD. So I think a lot of people will talk down about the Vita Slim, like, it sucks because the screen doesn't look as good, and it definitely doesn't. Like it's really just colors. Like the color depth of the original Vita is like way better.
Well, an OLED's gonna have blacker blacks.
It's got blacker blacks, bluer blues, Keith. I mean, just everything on this screen was more of what it was.
Oh, sorry, I'm talking about the original was OLED.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that you were saying that the new one was OLED, and people were talking down about that.
No. Like that's
the
thing is that they put out the Slim one, but they downgraded the screen. So a lot of people are like, Vita Slim's crappy because it doesn't have an OLED, and it is disappointing that it doesn't have that. But everything else about it is so much better. Like, it's thinner, it's so much lighter, it's way better. All the buttons feel better. So I give a thumbs up to the Vita Slim.
Sony will be glad to hear.
Yeah. Oh, the one thing about the Vita, though, if you're going to borrow it, is that I only have one memory card, so you would have to buy your own memory card.
Yeah, that's fine.
And they're super expensive. Yeah.
I work at GameStop.
There you go.
I'm sure I'll get a discount.
There you go.
15% off a used thing?
Boom.
Sure.
Boom.
They let me be people's boss. Isn't that weird?
It's almost laughable. Do they still do the thing where, like, you get the 15% off used things, but it stacks on the 10% you get off for, like, the Edge card, so it's really 25% off?
Oh, I don't know.
That's how it was when I worked there.
I would definitely get an Edge card if that's true.
Get on that.
I definitely have
I thought you even got it for free if you worked there.
I don't think so. Well, because here's the thing. There's now 2 levels of the card. It is now called Power Up Card, not Edge Card.
Oh, right. Wow, I thought I was using the new term, and I'm actually using the ancient term.
Yeah,
I completely forgot.
There's the basic Power Up Card, and then there's the Power Up Pro.
Well, the basic is free, isn't it?
The basic is free, so
Yeah.
I have the basic card. The reason that I don't have the pro is because I went a year without using any of my points, and I had like 30,000 points, and they vanished.
Yeah, I just remembered. That's why I renewed my subscription, because I went to the store to buy Splatoon. Just remembered I bought that. Shit.
Oh, how's
Probably should
Splatoon?
have
I want it
talked
so
about
bad.
Splatoon. It's really good. Splatoon
I
is a
wanna
lot
get-
of fun.
Don't stop playing Splatoon, because I swear to God I'm going to get a Wii U, and I'm going to get Splatoon and Yoshi's Woolly World, and I'm going to be the happiest little boy on Earth.
I already stopped playing it, but good news is I can start again whenever I want.
That's true. And I didn't think that you were currently playing it still, like as we speak.
Yeah, but yeah, I went up to the counter and the guy was like, "Hey, you have enough. You got enough points to renew your subscription. Want to do that?" And I had a split second of like, maybe I should say no, and then spend hours poring over all the rewards and figuring out what the best way to spend my points is. And then I remembered, oh, that's insane. Yeah, just renew my thing.
Yeah. I learned that I had $15 in ancient reservation money spread across 3 different games
yeah.
from so long ago the system wouldn't tell them what games they were.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I went to buy The Witcher 3, and they were like, you've got, this is like the day before I was hired there.
I think that has actually happened to me, and it was 3 games also.
Yeah, so I paid full price for the game and then got the season pass for free.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut pieces of that out.
I really don't have. Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't really have time to talk about it. I wish I had remembered earlier, but yeah, Splatoon is totally a lot of fun.
Yep, Splatoon seems cool. I'm gonna get a Wii U, and we're gonna play it.
The only thing that was a problem with Splatoon is that the local multiplayer options, in quotes, options for different multiplayers are like abysmal. Like you can't have. There's no like online guest system where like 2 people are on a console and you go online together, and you can only do the only local multiplayer option is 1-on-1 when the game is designed for 4-on-4.
That sucks.
And there's like 1 game mode or something. It's like the fucking worst thing. So that's that.
That's a bummer. I don't have a lot of people that I'm going to be playing with on my own couch. Here's the thing. Do you ever watch TV on your thing, or use I guess when other people watch TV, you play games on the pad?
Yeah, Splatoon can't do that either, which is also bullshit.
That's fine. I was just thinking, like, because I'm weighing the benefits of having a Wii U.
Okay.
And that's just not a concern
The
for me,
benefits
because either
of
I'm watching
having-
my TV or I'm playing my Wii U.
Let me tell you the benefits of having a Wii U. You get to play the games on the Wii U, and those games are good.
Yoshi's Woolly World and Splatoon, I'm coming for you.
Pikmin 3, though.
Pikmin 3, I'm coming for you. Can I borrow Pikmin 3?
I guess so.
I mean, I can just rent it from GameStop. Did they do that too? Before?
Back then?
Yeah. You can just have a game for 5 days.
God, like, that is familiar to me. Like, I've definitely heard of that, but I don't think we could do it.
Okay. Yeah, I just took out Shadows of Mordor, so I'm going to play that tonight.
Shadows of Mordor, yay.
Shadows of Mordor.
My favorite way to play Shadow of Mordor is to download the free DLC that lets you be a lady.
Oh, that's just in there now.
Oh, okay. Maybe
You
that's
just
what it
be a
was.
lady.
Maybe my game got updated, and then it was there.
Okay.
Yeah. Although it's actually like a woman from the story, so it makes even less sense that you're playing.
Here's the
as
thing
her.
about Shadows of Mordor that's really interesting is that people talk so much about the Nemesis system and about the fact that it wasn't a Batman game or whatever,
Okay.
and then it got turned into, like, those are the 2 things that people
Yeah.
mention. They talk about that and that it's the Nemesis system.
And that's
So
like
in my
Assassin's
head-
Creed.
Right, yeah. So in my head, this game has literally no story. Like,
Yeah.
no cutscenes, no
It
intro,
might as
no
well
story.
not. Yeah.
Like, you just go into the game and start wrecking orcs, and then, I don't know, you see them later. Like, I have no
Right.
idea what I'm about to play for real.
Like this story is so whatever. Like you won't even be able to try to care about the story.
Well, I'll see how it is, and I'll report back.
It's pretty good.
Yep. Was there anything else that you do? Any closing thoughts, Kyle?
Oh, I'm sad that I basically missed E3. It's like the first time ever, though it seems to me, and this is like an outsider perspective, maybe it's just because for once I didn't have my nose directly in E3's asshole or something, but it seemed like a pretty good E3. Like maybe if you just don't sit through the press conferences, it seems like a lot of stuff, or do you feel like it was a lot of stuff?
I feel like this is a better E3 than the last several years.
Okay, yeah, that was
definitely the last
impression.
2 years. There was more stuff that I'm interested in. I'm super pumped for backwards compatibility on my 360.
Oh yeah, thing.
I'm pumped that they're starting the streaming from Xbox to PCs.
Okay. Oh, dude, Steam Link.
Steam Link is
so
that a new
excited
Zelda
for
game?
Steam Link. Steam Link is a Steam box that they're putting out in November. That is, it's not like a $300 Steam box where it can run games. It's literally just like for streaming from your PC to your television.
Yeah,
which
sounds
is
great.
exactly what I have wanted for so long.
I might absolutely get a Steam Link then.
$50.
Wow, that's not a lot.
I know.
I'm fucking pumped. I'm gonna get that.
I also am really curious about the Steam controller, which I think is coming out at the same time for the same price.
I anticipate not enjoying it.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I probably will end up not really having the money for it. Like, I won't be able to justify getting that when I just have a 360 controller already. But
well, here's the thing. This is something that I said way back when they announced it, and it's like the Steam box thing.
They changed the controller again, though. It looks better.
Oh, did
now
they?
It has the two pads up top, the two circle touch pads, and then bottom left is an analog stick, and bottom right is A, B, X, Y buttons like you expect them to be. So
I have to take a look
it
at
looks
this now.
better than it has looked in the past.
I don't see any. Oh, I do see a thumbstick. I want to see a Steam controller comparison. I don't know. This is exactly. Oh, okay. I guess it's the third. It's the addition of a thumbstick.
Yeah.
Instead of the the D-pad.
The like awful D-pad, but it's buttons. But God, that was such a bad idea.
Okay, this does look better, and they also got rid of the touch screen in the middle.
Was there a touch screen in the middle?
There was a big touch panel in the center.
That's dumb.
And
because
now it's
there
just
were
a
two
start
touch
select and a
pads
Steam
on either
button.
side. Why would you need a touch middle?
Well, those were touch analogs, and the center was like a touch screen thing where they were like programmable buttons.
Weird. Right,
yeah, and that was.
I'm starting to remember that now.
Yeah,
it's interesting. It's interesting that someone is trying to take such a completely new take on the controller, because the controller has not changed much in years. So,
yeah. Well, here's the thing about that is that like. It's a weird risk for them to take to not make this the second controller, like not do the weird thing second. Go as weird as you want, but like maybe for your brand new thing, give people a controller.
I think they know that everyone already has the 360 controllers and stuff.
Yeah.
Like everyone already has that controller, and they know that.
It's still got the backwards facing handle.
Well, we'll have to see how
it looks like they put all the buttons on the wrong side of the controller. Do you know what I mean? Look at the picture. It looks like they curve the wrong. Like they put. On the.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
No. That's an older prototype mock-up that you're looking at, though.
Okay. Well, the new one does the same thing. Here, I'll show you. That's the new one.
Okay, I'm looking at what appears to be the final one, and yeah, okay.
Weird choice, weird choices. Like
weird,
that's
but
a choice.
It might be. I'm confident that they wouldn't put it out like that if it wasn't comfortable.
I'm not confident. Fuck Steam.
All right. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that, and like I'm now with Halo 5 upcoming and that sweet Rare bundle. And all this stuff, I'm now like officially in saving for a Xbox One mode. So hopefully that will be.
You're about to have the hat trick of consoles again, Kyle. How do you feel?
I feel like God, I wish there weren't 3 consoles because I always need all 3, and it's killing me. It's killing me until I have all 3, and then it's just fine.
Right.
But, oh my God, I don't need more boxes that plug into televisions in my house, for the love of God. Like, it's also that. So now it's wonderful that it has, or will have, at least some amount of 360 backwards compatibility, because then maybe I can take my 360 and put it in a box.
Here's the weird thing about us. I feel like I always get consoles before you, but I never have all of them. I always just have like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I only had the original Xbox, never had a GameCube or a PS2. I had a Wii and a 360.
I can't not have access to a catalog of games.
Yeah. It would be a real shame if you couldn't fucking play Killzone.
I wouldn't be able to play Bloodborne if I didn't have a PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
That would kill me inside. The thing is, I would be completely fine with never playing Bloodborne, but I wouldn't know that until I played Bloodborne.
Right.
That's the thing. Anyways,
Oh.
I gotta go. So that's...
All right,
hey,
that's it
Keith,
for episode 20 of the Run Button Podcast. Thank you, as always, to Kyle Churchill. I'm Keith J. Carberry. You can find us on the internet at runbutton.net, and you can follow our Twitter account at runbutton, or me at Keith J. Carberry, and Kyle at 19 letters long. Bye, Kyle.
Keith, we're
Yeah.
back.
We're back?
We're back.
We're back.
Remember we didn't do a lot of things for like 2 months, and now we're back?
Well, stuff was still coming out.
Not that much, though. Now we're back.
It feels like longer for us than for other people. For other people, it just seemed like we were lazy.
Keith, we're back.
We're back.
All right.
We're back.
We're back. Thanks for listening to the 20th episode of the Run Button Podcast. My name is Kyle Churchill, your big host. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.
And my name's Keith Carberry, your real host.
Thanks for listening. I'm the big host. Thanks for listening.
I'm the real host. Thank you for listening.
When will brother stop host battling against brother, Keith? When will the bloodshed end?
As far as I know, I'm going to have to travel south in tanks and burn all your towns. I think this metaphor has fallen off the rails. I'm the host. Bye.
Come back next time for a new, latest, hottest edition of the Run Button Podcast.